Hello, everybody. I want to welcome everybody to Fly Nubian Money. I am Dr. Alicia, and I am hosting today. Yay! And we are tackling a very thought provoking topic. I don't know if y'all noticed, but the waves and the shifts have been turned ever since Kamala Harris has been nominated as the presidential candidate. It was all this wonderful upsurge. And recently, there's been some dissenting views. And so, our topic for today is: are we being shamed into voting for Kamala Harris because of race? So, we're talking about race based politics today. And I think it's been a reoccurring theme in our community. People are saying things like, if you don't vote, your ancestors fought in vain. If you don't vote Democrat, then you're letting a racist win. Speaking of Donald Trump. And I think these statements really sort of play on our emotions. Of course it does, right? So today we're going to talk about this issue. And I have with me today some wonderful panelists. First up is Laura. Her name is Lala, and she's an international real estate agent. Welcome. Second up, I have Constance Carter. She is a wealth activist. Yes, champion for women. And next, we have Athena Carter. She is a CPA and a wealth coach. Welcome, ladies. Anyway, we're going to dive right in. And I'm just curious, like, what are your initial thoughts on this whole idea that we may be shamed into voting based on race instead of voting based on political views and values? And I think I will start with Constance Carter. How about you weigh in? What do you think about this whole idea?
I saw something funny on Instagram this morning. Funky Dyneva said, if she get in there and chew gum for the next 4 years, I'm still going to vote for her. He said, if she get in there and chew bubble gum for the next 4 years, anything is better than the alternative. And the unfortunate thing is we have a two-party system. And so it's like, what do you do? Because if you don't vote for either, then it's like not voting for one is a vote for the other, right? So I don't care. Take my black card because you can't take it because I'm blackity black, black, black. You're not going to shame me into voting or not voting for anybody. I was talking to Dr. Boyce this earlier today, and I was telling him, for me, you got to look at it. It's for me, it's the two things, because you have reparations, which the Democrats are very clear that they are not going to support reparations. Nobody is, right? So do I vote for someone who's not going to support reparations, or do I vote for someone who is going to let police kill my black sons with immunity and with impunity, right? So I got to look at what's best for my black, and I'm black first before my money. And so, yeah, you ain't gonna shame me to not vote for whoever I want to vote for. I'm gonna vote for whoever I wanted to anyway. And can't nobody take Constance Carter's black card away.
Yeah, that's really interesting. So it's almost like, yeah, let Camila get up there with her chewing her gum and laughing with her silk press and seeing it as a symbolic. First of all, I love symbolism. Symbolism says everything. I mean, since when has a president of the United States really done anything, for Black people? But the symbolism, I think, is very powerful.
I think you're right. Like, okay, so ain't neither one of them gonna do shit for you. And let's keep it very, very real. Nobody's gonna give us reparations. Ain't nobody gonna do nothing for you black people. So I would you self-hating Negroes that are in the comments right now talking about I'm a black man, vote for Trump. You self-hating Negroes would rather vote for somebody who is very clear about not liking your black ass, rather than vote for a black woman, which you guys don't say she's black or whatever, but you guys rather vote for somebody who blatantly disrespects you, disrespects everything that you stand for, just so that you don't vote for a woman. And so, yeah, at the end of the day, ain't neither one of them gonna do shit for you.
Yeah, I'm curious to see what the other panelists have to say about that, because what you're saying is that we can't just be so dogmatic in our voting, right? Like one issue voters, like it's either reparations or I ain't voting for anybody. Like probably Dr. Boyce says that. It's like one issue voter, and like being really dogmatic where you're just going to let this one thing skew you and then not even pay attention to the array of policies. So let's go to Lala. Lala, weigh in on this. What do you think about this whole idea of, being shamed into voting based on race?
I think it's ridiculous. For one, we don't have a choice. This is actually who we are down to. We're down to two people. And it really is, if you have not researched what's important to you, comes down to that. Regardless of whoever you vote for, I don't care what color they are at this point, as long as you are not going to hurt me and my household, and you at least uphold some things that I honor, then I'm going to vote for you. I don't think there's any shame in it. What I do think is that they're trying to divide us as much as possible. And a lot of the times it's within our own community, because we cannot even decide who we want to be Black or not. Everybody's pointing fingers at everybody. You ain't Black enough. Well, you too light. And you came from this. And you came from that. Listen, I'm not trying to fight you about that. I'm not going to, but I am going to vote for Kamala, because I will vote for a fly with no wings before I will vote for Trump. I just won't do it. He is telling you exactly what he's going to do. And because he's having such a meltdown right now because of the switch, he thought he was running against Biden. He is letting a lot of things come out of his mouth that I don't think people were ready for him to come out, because he's always been trying to hide behind words, even though he says a lot of crazy things. He literally said this weekend, you Christians, I need you to vote for me. I'm not really a Christian, but I need you to vote for me. Because then in 4 more years, we're going to fix it where you don't have to do that again. You see, I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going down that road. I already know what his agenda is. And I'm still feeling like I'm safer with Kamala. So no, I'm not being there. There's no race baiting with me, and I'm not going to be ashamed about voting for her. I was going to vote for Biden. He ain't Kamala, and he definitely ain't Black, but I surely am not voting for Trump.
That is so interesting. And even if we look at the issues, because we'll play a clip later on with Amanda Seales and her criticism, but a lot of it is people are saying, what are your issues? I've been seeing this swell of questioning in the media, like, what are the issues you're going to stand for? So how about we go to you? We haven't heard from you yet. Athena, tell us, what do you think about being shamed into voting a certain way? What are the issues? Is it great? You can comment on the whole idea of symbolism, and for the presidency to have a Black woman president as a symbolic representation. What do you think about that? Weigh in.
Well, nobody can really shame me into doing anything, as I pay my own bills. So that is the philosophy I take to life. So whoever I'm voting for in this election, I don't really care what anybody has to say about it. What I do think, I'm not a person that really hangs up on symbolism, because especially with the history of this country, that's all we get. We get Juneteenth, but we don't get any tangibles. So, but in disregard of that, right, nevertheless, I understand that with either party, we're not going to get anything that advances the Black race forward. So I have to take that off the table completely. I can agree with Constance in that matter, that we are, regardless of who is in that seat, they're not trying to give us anything. So now you have to really look at, from a policies perspective, what benefits you. I am a woman. There are certain things that have come up that affect me if I should vote either way. Do I think that I'm going to really get a candidate that I'm really 100% behind? Absolutely not. But I have to vote in a way that makes sense, that doesn't put me in a Handmaid's Tale narrative. So that's what I have to do. When I think of, and everyone can have their opinion about how they feel, I don't even think it's even because of race. I think the issue is that she's a woman. I think the issue is that she's really a woman. I was talking to one of my best friends. She's white, by the way. And it's been really interesting to have these conversations with other women about Kamala. And even when we did the panel previously about her, it just seems like as much as it's not being spoken about, maybe we can expound upon it today. People would rather a man like Trump and JD Vance in office, women, than see another woman, and that is indicative of a pathology we need to explore.
God, that makes sense, because like her being a woman and her being non-white, I mean, she encompasses non-whiteness, and she's up against white male, you know, two white men. We don't know who her running mate is going to be, but she's up against this, and it's really creating a bigger divide, because she met with all these women who supported her. She's met with Black women who have supported her. So all of the others seem to really gonna gravitate toward voting for Kamala, apparently. And then all of these white men want to gravitate toward voting for Trump, because a lot of white men feel like they have been left out of this dialogue, right? Especially
it's not even just white men. It is, to me, like, I feel like, because as we're gonna play Black men, white women are leaning towards, you know, Trump and everything. So I really feel like, you know what it kind of reminds me of? For those of you who watch HBO, House of the Dragon, where they rather go to war than see a woman rise and sit on the throne, just to see a woman rule or be in control. Because even on the panel the other day, Erica was on the panel and she was saying, she posed a question: are we ready for a woman to represent our country and talk to heads of states of different countries? Do we feel comfortable with that? As much as it's not talked about, a lot of women do not trust other women and do not feel that they feel better or prefer when a man is running things.
Which is crazy as shit, because look at the babbling fool we had in office a couple of years ago. The man don't know his ass from a hole in the ground, y'all. The man doesn't understand politics. He doesn't understand foreign policies. He knows nothing. He is a failed businessman who has gathered up
multiple bankruptcies, multiple.
Yes, and mobilize his people to get behind him and co-sign on everything that he says, whether he's crazy. Like, if you are a sane individual, you know that this man don't know what the fuck he's talking about. And for you guys to sit up here and say, I'm voting Trump, then the person in the comments colors, there's a lot of trolls on here that's acting like they Black, but they're really not Black. But I listen, I'm not scared to address y'all, because I ain't scared of y'all. I know good and damn well that you guys are bots that are here, or you guys are infiltrators that are here to try to stir up some shit. But I'm ready for you, and we can address it head on.
Oh, Lord. Okay, so that tells us this is emotional conversation. It's not just about some of the issues. Based on some of these issues, we're responding emotionally. And I am too. I feel it. Let's go to the clip, if you don't mind, with Amanda Seals talking about criticizing Kamala Harris, asking, what are your issues? Tell me what your issues are.
Put in clips of Kamala Harris stating things. I don't need politicians to state things. I need politicians to do things. When I met with Kamala Harris after she summoned me, I said to her straight up, you talk out two sides of your neck and we don't know what you're talking about. I wouldn't be surprised if it's Kamala Harris who's trying to shut me the fuck up. Because I told her straight up that I feel like she is disingenuous in her messaging. And she said to me, well, you're being too critical. And I said, I am a voter. I'm supposed to be critical. That's my job. And I want to see actions. She said, well, how am I supposed to talk about racism in America without calling Americans racist? I said, well, first of all, there are many racist Americans, but there's also policy, legislation, institution, and systems that are racist that need to be addressed. They need to be addressed. And if you're not going to do that in an actualized way and in a loud, bold way, people will never really know where you're coming from. Well, you can't tell me how I feel. So I'm not telling you how you feel. I'm telling you how you sound. I'm telling you how you sound. Okay?
Well, then let her run. I'm
Yeah.
tired of these people. Okay. A lot of the times these people don't even know any of the policies that are on the table. They haven't taken the time to study them. Just like a lot of people in the chat right now who are always saying, read the policy. Well, let me tell you something. I have read the policy. I do have a political show, by the way. And I want you to know that I have taken the time to read both policies, and I still will vote for a worm before I vote for Trump, because Trump does not have your best interest at heart. He never has. And let me tell you why. I have actually gone back to my disdain for Trump many years before he decided to get into politics, which, by the way, he said, all you Republicans, if he ever decided that he was going to run, he was going to pick to be a Republican just because he knows that y'all were gullible. You might want to go back and watch that clip because that's real. Two, the way he was running things in New York City, taking all these HUD contracts, shortchanging the people by not putting in insulation, things that kept them safe and warm, and putting that money in his own pocket. I have a disdain for this man because only he worries about what goes into his pocket, what goes into his family's pocket, what can they get. So let me tell you, it's not just politics I don't like this man on. He's been a fraud from day one, and I don't want a fraud and a freaking felon running my country.
Yeah, I mean, that is so fascinating. I think people are emotional. And what's happening is that because he gets the emotions involved, that people get amnesia about some of the facts about what's happening in his, what he's actually putting out in terms of policy, how it works against the white working class family, but he can galvanize their support because he can give them attention, the type of attention that they felt that they never got during the Barack Obama administration. And I think what's happening is that after we have an Obama presidency, we now have dealt with a lot since then, and our positioning hasn't quite changed. So now we see Kamala Harris running for president, and we're looking at this, and it's reminiscent, I think, psychologically to a lot of dissenting voices. Oh, this is going to be Barack Obama giving us hope, feeding us hope, and then nothing really happens. So I think, like, as Black people, a lot of Black people are just apathetic about it. Let's hear from someone else. How about you, Athena? Tell us, what do you think about this emotional appeal to political engagement?
Well, with politics, I do think it gets emotional, which I don't even understand sometimes, because I think when we talk about politics, I think people are more emotional about politics than even religion at this point, right? Because you can accept someone of a different religion, but when politics, like, you need to vote for me in this way. And I was even sharing with you ladies behind the scenes, I do have one of my best friends, she's a white woman, and she did express that she was kind of leaning towards voting for Trump and JD Vance, and her reasoning behind what she was seeing. And it was very interesting to have that conversation with her last night, because I would never rationalize the way I would have never gotten what she got out of certain things. But at the same time, I didn't try to bash her for her, try to convince her to do otherwise, because at the end of the day, I believe in autonomy. I believe everyone going and casting their own vote. So I try to be as neutral as possible. I think when it comes to politics, people with certain things, just like in dating relationships, certain topics people use as a vehicle or medium to vent out their own frustrations with life, versus understanding, regardless of whatever is happening in the political landscape or in the country, that you're going to have to be accountable for what is going on in your life. So what I've noticed, and no shade to nobody in the chat who's saying all kind of things, right? The people who are like struggling and losing are the ones who like bark the most. And that is what I noticed. But yeah, it's a lot of, somebody put in the chat, politricking. And I was like, oh, I need to add that word, that politricking. Both parties are politricking right now. we're not going to get anything that moves the Black agenda forward. So I want to tell everybody, we just got to take that off the table. No side. And I also think it's very, I don't know if the word unfair is the word, but because Kamala is Black or half Black or however you want to cut, dice, slice, tether, whatever, there's this expectation for her to do more for Black people. So you're almost penalizing her for that when Trump ain't going to do nothing for Black people like that anyway. So it's like we need to just take, I think in order to get through this election, we kind of have to take the Black agenda off the table and be like, okay, what like Constance is doing, what else am I voting for? Yeah.
Oh, very interesting. And I think before I go into Constance, because I really want to hear what she has to say, I think I'm supposed to be saying, everybody, you are watching Fly Nubian Money. And you can find us on Spotify. We are here on YouTube Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you can also go to flynubianmoney.com for free financial resources and courses that are be up. Also, I want to remind everybody to text Queens to 87948 to get notifications when we go live. That's QUEENS to 87948. 87948. Okay, now that I've said that, I want to go to Constance to weigh in on your reaction to what Amanda Seales has to say and this whole idea about this Obama backlash that's been brought up and how we can get into this emotional voting. Go ahead, Constance.
Well, first, let me just acknowledge a comment on there. They asked what's Kamala's policies, and we're going to be talking about that on Thursday. So let's talk about, we're going to talk about that. So we're going to talk about that right now, but we're going to get into it on Thursday. You know, I was rocking with Amanda when she went on the Shay Shay Club Shay Shay, and then she just kept talking, and then I was just like, man, just shut the fuck up. I mean, shut up, lady. Like, oh, she's getting exhausting to me at this point. Because now it's just like, I don't know if she's lying or telling the truth. You know, does she really have autism? I have autism. No, I don't. So I can't even acknowledge what she's saying at this point, because now she's just talking all over the place. But I certainly, I'm not 100% disagreeable to her. It's just, now I just need her to shut up. So, honestly, like you said, Lala, I will vote for a damn maggot before I vote for Donald Trump. Just because I told y'all, if y'all seen this before, I told y'all, my sheer desire in life is to see Trump supporters jump off. Ooh, I might get censored because they did tell me I was going to get demonetized if I said if I wrote this on my Instagram. But I would rather see them take a long walk off a short bridge if Kamala is president, because they won't be able to take it. They simply will not be able to take their commander in chief being a Black woman, and that is what gives me so much joy and pleasure, to see these racist, uneducated, low IQ bastards who vote against their own best interests because they hate Black people so much. But to see them be ruled not just by a Black person, but a Black woman, it just gives me the sensation of my life. Is this the backlash? Yes, President Trump, or Donald, I ain't calling no president. Donald Trump is the result of having a Black president for 8 years, unfortunately. So I like what Kamala said about how he's trying to divide us, how he's looking at the past, and she wants to unify us and look at the future. I think we need that in America, because, of course, politics is extremely polarizing, but right now the climate in America is so divisive. You can cut it with a knife, and it's going to be the downfall of our country, this division. That's why we're called United States. United we stand, divided we fall, and we are divided more than we've ever been in the history of this country, probably during the time of Civil War. And that's the reason why these politicians are dog whistling that it's probably going to be a civil war, because there's so much divisiveness in the country right now. So it's very unfortunate. But, my big thing is I just want to see Donald Trump's supporters just DIE. Can I say that?
Yeah, I'm glad that you brought this up, but I really do think that, to build this bridge instead of making this divide, we really do need to really listen to what are these voters, these supporters of Donald Trump? Where are they coming from? What are they saying? And if you listen to them, they are saying that they really are afraid, right? They really feel that they're losing their identity, their way of life. They know that eventually white people are going to be a minority instead of the majority. And of course, this fear exacerbates these divisions, making it very challenging for groups to engage in differing viewpoints and advocating for collective solutions that kind of foster hope and resilience. So I'm still feeling kind of like we can kind of work together a little more. I mean, this country belongs to everybody. And I think that it's almost like, I mean, think about Barack Obama. He represents, as the president, he was an elitist. He graduated from the University of Chicago. He was, it was almost like a lot of white men saw that as threatening, and they saw, and particularly the issue with immigration. We all know the facts about immigration, but there's this perception that the elite people are prioritizing foreign interest and over domestic workers, over the working class. We're giving money to other countries. And so Donald Trump has really capitalized on the anxieties of white men. So I just want to put that out there. But I do want to go into, there is a lady named Madam President, and she did a reply to Amanda Seales. I do want us to play that clip so that we can react to that now. Can we play it?
So the internet is giving Amanda Seales a hell of a run because of her comments regarding Kamala Harris. And I'm going to try to explain to everybody why Amanda Seales isn't wrong. I think that the issue with a lot of Black people is they are under this impression that we are going to make history. And if you're not a part of the process of making history, then you're on the wrong side of history. But I think that some people are forgetting that we felt very identical emotionally as it related to Barack Obama. And in the presidency of Barack Obama, you had Trayvon Martin. I think before then, maybe even Tamir Rice. Under the presidency of Biden, VP Harris, you got George Floyd. I think it's time to really come to the understanding that there is no political utopian. There is nobody that has a perfect political career. The hard part of being a president or a vice president is that you may have to kill some people. And I think that the American people are not really psychologically prepared to understand that these people that we idolize will also set a bomb on children if necessary. But I have more to say about this. All right, so
yeah, so here we have someone's given a more balanced view about what's happening in the dynamics. Does anybody want to weigh in on this before we move into, there's another clip about it. I will call him an angry Black man, but weigh in on what do you think Madam President is saying?
I love Madam President. I had a pleasure of meeting her at an ABNC, I think last year. So that was cool. I think she gives a balanced perspective on what is going on. I do think that Amanda does have some points as far as when it comes to Kamala, which I wish, as a person who I do want to see Kamala advance. So I'm not going to put that to the side table, right? And I know everybody called me a tether because I'm Jamaican, all this other stuff, whatever. But I do wish she would actually come out and be definitive on what her policies, what she believes in, and what she's going to do. And I think that is a weak point for her in the Democratic Party because at least with Trump and JD Vance, they're very clear on who they're talking to and what they're trying to push. And I think that Kamala needs to at least create some kind of line so people know what she is standing for, because I think that adds to the frustration, especially to the Black base, what she's trying to do. And I think that she would need, and I said this earlier on an earlier panel, she would need to have to do that to kind of secure some of her votes, because she does not have the votes of Black people or women in the bag. I'm telling you, white woman, listen, I really do also feel like she needs to, white women is going to make or break the election for her, because from what I'm understanding is like, especially because a lot of them vote for Trump during his and Republican base. So she needs to somehow reach certain groups, and she won't be able to do that trying to toe the party line.
You know what? You make such a great point, because when back when I was doing talks about feminism and Black women and feminism, the Jim Crow laws got started because after white women were allowed to vote. And what happened was a lot of Black women advocated so that women could get the right to vote. But as soon as they got the right to vote and they went to the polls, they voted lock stop with their white male husbands. And that's why we got Jim Crow. Jim Crow was done in the South because white women were voting with their white husbands, which was which was problematic for Black people. So what you have is a history of voting in which Black women have tried to sync up with white women and say, let's work for the right to vote. And then when they actually voted, they were voting against our Black men and our Black children and all of us. So there is a very delicate history there between white women and Black women about voting rights and all of these social justice issues that they claim that they were with us for. And Black women were let down totally by voting rights. And you're right. Absolutely, Athena. That's what happened in the Trump presidency. We felt betrayed, because like, wow, I thought you was
right. I thought you was riding with me, but clearly your whiteness is more important than your rightness. Ooh, that's a bar. Your whiteness is more important.
Say it again.
Your whiteness is more important than your rightness. But I got a question for Athena, because I need us to put this Kamala ain't Black to bed. You are of Jamaican descent, correct? Are you Black?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. I just want to be clear, because you look similar to me. So her dad is from Jamaica.
Her dad is a Jamaican Black man, because Indians and other races do live in Jamaica, but he is Black.
He's Black. And he actually is a descendant of slavery.
Correct.
I even seen, they said her great grandfather was a white Irish slave owner. Well, how about her great grandmother was raped by a white Irish slave owner? It's not like she chose him to be her grandfather, just like most of us. We have, some lighter melanin here. And some of it was probably through slavery, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't by choice. So now they're trying to put that on her, spin that on her. But I think people aren't really clear that there are people that don't live in the United States who are actually Black, and they actually are descendants of slavery. Correct.
But that's a great point. But you know what, Constance? America is absolutely gravely sick with color, with anything color. Traveling the world as much as I do, especially in Portugal, it's funny because there was a mixed couple that I met, and the wife was Black and the husband was white, and she said, she was trying to explain something to someone. She said, well, my husband, he's white. And they looked at her like, okay, like, all right, because over here, they don't give a damn. Now, I'm not saying that the racism isn't alive everywhere. It is, because there are always going to be sick people with it. But America itself, until it gets right and it gets tight with its sickness about Black and white and Hispanic and brown. No. You will never get right. You will burn all the way to the ground before we even rise as a phoenix, because you're sick with worrying about what color someone is or putting someone in their place because you don't make enough money. And that is what the true reason is. They don't want a woman. They don't want a Black man. They want white Christian supremacists, period.
Yep, they think it's their country. So let's go on. I do want to play this clip about this angry Black man, and then that'll probably end the show, because we probably got a lot to say about this one. And it's my bias to call him the angry Black man, and he does have some really good points. Let's play that clip.
It's already started on Twitter. The black gender war. It's already happened before. The Democrats has already separated the black family, coming in, offering welfare services, telling black women if the man won't in the house, they could get a check. Back in the early 40s when the welfare system first started, yes, they literally went around telling black women they would give them a $16 a month check if they didn't have a black man in the house. Now we have black women on all over social media saying that they can't count on black men to vote for Kamala Harris, that black men are going to be sellouts, that black men don't care about the race. No, we don't care about symbolic victories and token first. We want a plan like the platinum plan that Donald Trump and Ice Cube worked and hashed out. Black women, we are not going to side with you. You've already abandoned the black man by running out on our family for welfare. You sided with the LBGT community. You sided with feminism. We are not going to side with you guys. We are not going to let you guilt us into you celebrating a Chucks and Pearls symbolic victory. We need to sit down and discuss this together. Ask black men why they are leaving the Democratic Party. Ask black men why they're considering voting Trump. Don't just shame us. Don't just try to guilt us. Don't call us brokies because we don't want to vote for Kamala Harris. Not saying we won't vote for her. We just want to know what she's going to do.
It's a definition of a beta male. Broke ass beta male.
It absolutely. And I just want to clear up some things because I'm a social worker, and I just want to
go off.
I just want to say, for the record, the majority of individuals on welfare are married families. The majority of individuals on welfare get up. 75% of the people who receive welfare get up every morning and go to work every day. The problem is that it's not a livable wage, right? They have families and they work 9 to 5 every day. I do want to say, okay, Donald Trump did meet with Ice Cube about the platinum plan, but nothing was executed during his presidency. It was farce. It was just lip service. Thank you, Lala. Lip service. I do want to weigh in on that one. So no, he did not work with. I don't understand how we're going with this. And so anyway, I just want to put that out there. Lala, I see you making hand signs. How about you? What's your response to this before I go to Constance next?
Once again, it's all about division. I don't care what you say. I'm going to support me a black man. You hear me? I don't care. If you out here doing your best and you out here doing the things that help uplift our community, I am supporting you. Sir, you have a right to your opinion, but I'd like to know what the skeletons in your closet. Because I bet if I dig in your closet, I'm going to find some things that maybe you didn't want people to know about. The ones who have the most to hide are the ones who are the loudest out here talking and screaming about things. So I don't want to hear that you're not going to support us. I see in very many ways that a lot of men don't. However, I will not say all men, because I got me a good black man and he is mine and I am his, and he's very supportive, and we both do whatever we can to uplift the black community. So we don't need any more division and any more separation. So I don't need you coming out here talking this poison out of your mouth, because if that's all you're going to do, then you need to go and sit down and shut up. Because if you can't help, you surely in the shit better not harm.
Great. Thank you, Lala. Black gender roles. Constance Carter, wait, what's your response to him?
She said, wait. I want to put a little exclamation on. What you just say, Lala? I want to underscore that. Don't do shit. What you say again?
If you're not going to help, you surely shit don't need to hurt. And that's just the truth. Just shut up. I think I need a t-shirt.
I think you need to make that. It's real out here in these political streets, y'all. It is not a game. No, it's actually extremely disheartening. All of this people we see going so damn hard, all these FBA black men who are going, these are supposed to be our kings, our leaders, and you would rather vote for a white man who don't give a fuck about y'all, who will put your children at risk, who will have your children killed. I got 3 black sons, y'all. That's what I worry about. And so if a police officer, this came out this man's mouth. If a police officer shoots down my black son, he gets immunity. That's what Donald Trump said. So you would rather vote for that black man. This like Stockholm syndrome. Are y'all crazy? Are you guys are loving the kidnapper, the enslaver? Y'all sound like some fucking Uncle Ruckuses. And what's the guy from Django? Y'all, that's what y'all sound like. You guys will die on a hill to support a man who don't give a damn about your black ass than support a woman. And it to me, it speaks to your inefficiencies as a man. Ooh, am I stepping on toes? It speaks to you not maybe being alpha enough to, you can't take a woman being the commander in chief. That's what it says to me. It says to me that you lack, you're just a beta male. It speaks to me that you're just not a real black man who is looking to protect his black community, his black women, his black children, his black family. Because you rather vote for a white man who don't give a fuck about you. That's what I think.
Oh my gosh, Athena. This Kamala Harris running for president is now on social media causing a black gender war where there's this divisiveness between, yet again, black men and women. Athena, what do you have to say to this?
Is it causing it, or is it just highlighting what is already there?
Highlighting what is already there, and it seems like the division there is growing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that, first of all, the gender war that is going on within our community is not only affecting us, it's affecting all other ethnicities, but we feel it first. Black people feel it first because of the socioeconomics that underlie the gender war issue. So fortunately, we feel it first. What I will say is this. I do think that it is very disappointing, and I would love for us to have a conversation about this, or maybe, I don't know, A, B, and C, something, but it's very disappointing as a black woman to see some of the men take certain approaches, because it does feel like abandonment. It feels like we're not united, and it feels like they're always attacking us for things that we're merely victims of and responding to, like bringing up the issue of welfare. Well, okay, would she had to take welfare if you could fully provide for the family? Certain things like that, where you're leaving a woman no choice, and then if anything goes wrong, we have to take the blame for everything. So my question when we have these conversations about gender war and red pill, level up, manosphere, all this other stuff is, okay, what are you as a man who's supposed to be the leader? What are you going to take responsibility for? Because it seems like you just want to be a boss as far as tell people what to do, but leaders serve people. Leaders are servants. And in order to be a servant, you have to have concern and empathy for the people you are leading. And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of concern and empathy. It's just a lot of criticism and no help. Criticism, no help, and just really should not even be talking. And that is my perspective and opinion. So to watch that video, it just, honestly, I laugh at a lot of men when they say certain things, because I know the men who are actually building their families, leading their families, building corporations, setting up things in their trust. And those conversations are very, very different than the men who have time to do these long rants on social media like they're a woman. So that's all I got to say.
Yeah, I'm gonna, let me first, I want to respond first. I am all in favor as a social worker and a therapist. Hey, kitty cat. Oh no, you're gonna play into that stereotype of the woman with no
Listen,
children.
all my childless cat ladies, rise up, okay? JD Vance done said the woman out here trying to come for us, so he done definitely let me know I don't need to vote that way, okay?
Anyway, all right. I just I do want to say we need our safety nets. I'm all in favor of safety nets, and we need things, policies in place. I love my public schools. I love the fact that we have a welfare system for people who really are impoverished and need help to, so I really love that. But I want to welcome everybody. I want to tell everybody who we are and what we're talking about today. So the title of our conversation today is, Are We Being Shamed into Voting for Kamala Harris Because of Race? It has now morphed into a conversation about the Black gender role war going on. But you are looking at Fly Nubian Money, and we are here Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Time on Fly Nubian Queen. You can find us on Spotify. If you want free financial resources and courses, you please go to flynubianmoney.com. And I want you to text Queens, QUEENS, to 87948. You get notifications about when we go live, and then we can talk about these issues that I think is really fascinating to me. I do want to go to some comments in the chat. What are some interesting comments? What do y'all think? Tell me in the chat. What do y'all think is happening?
Y'all, we got people mad at us today, but you know
Who's
what?
mad
Listen,
at us? Okay, angry people. Put your comments in the chat because I want to know what you're angry about. What you sad about?
Well, first, what they always do is always attack the fact
Man.
that we are light-skinned women. And there's always an issue. What's always an issue with that, because we're never black enough to be blackety black. But what you don't know, I'm more blackety black than most people.
yeah, I'm
who are not.
unapologetic.
I don't want to hear that.
Question
And I will not be questionized on if I'm black or not.
You know what? I think skin color means a lot. And I really do think that we need to probably try to, it's just happened to turn out this way today, but I really do think we need to get Black women of all shades to come on here and talk, because colorism is a thing. It is a thing. And I know
we can't talk about Black issues. My mama Black, my daddy Black, my granny's Black.
We can talk about Black issues, but I really do think that when your skin complexion is a certain way, you do get some privileges that people who are darker don't get. I have noticed this. I have people in my immediate family who are all shades. My children have all shades. And I do notice there is a difference. And I think that that's just something that is there. So we need to talk about. Who in the chat
have a discussion on colorism one day, because I think it's
very important.
I think a conversation about colorism, and we can be intentional in who we invite people from all different shades, because I know I've seen it. I've seen it in my office, and I've experienced it personally. Privileges that I have gotten. I know it was because of my color, and I reject it, by the way. So that's my job.
I haven't noticed it for me.
That's happened.
I have noticed it, but my mom did say, like, my mom grew up in the 60s. So she said, my mom was really light, and she said that when they were chopping cotton, the white men they were chopping cotton for, they let her and her light-skinned nephew sit on the back of the truck while all the dark skin was picking cotton, and let them eat peaches all day, and made the dark ones pick the cotton. So there definitely is that, and it's been ingrained in our community, unfortunately. But that, I don't know that that's been my experience in terms of getting privilege, but I don't know, because I don't know. I only know what it's like to be me.
Listen, they created the one drop rule, and now they're trying to backpedal on that. Because anytime anybody has one black drop, now all of a sudden, no, they're not really black because they got a Jamaican mama and they got a such and such. So make your mind up before you sit up there and try to pick out what you want to do. You can't ride both fences, because at the end of the day, they're going to throw us all in the ocean. Anybody who don't like you and is lulling you into that little, oh, but we like you. Wait till they get to where they get to, and then you will be shut out just like everybody else. It doesn't matter, because the one drop is always going to be the rule unless it serves them.
Thank you, Lala, for saying that, because you own the money with that.
Okay, before we close up, Athena, you want to weigh in on it too?
Listen, they already can't stand me. I'm a tether.
What's a tether, by the way? I don't know what that is. What does that mean? Please inform me.
That's from so a tether is like a non-FBA Black person who comes here and gets like resources, right? That's what a
they call
tether
you a
is.
tether.
A tether.
Oh, they've been on you. They've been on your helmet, huh?
Listen, I wish when my family came here, I got a check. That was not our story at all. But what I will say is this. I think this election is really forcing the ugly side of our community. Like there's certain events that happen that really brought up things that were not addressed, that were underlying issues. So Trump and Kamala in this election is one. When Kevin Samuels was out, he was another one. Like there are certain people and events that force us to really take a look at the ugly aspect of our community. And unfortunately, all we have been doing is really looking at it, but there's really no solutions that are being presented to fix those issues. We cannot come together as a group if we're still nitpicking off who's Black enough or who's FBA and who's not FBA. How can we ask for and demand and galvanize to get reparations and get our agenda on the table when we still hung up on colorism and racism and all kind of other nonsense?
Athena, speak on that, because that's true. Because all you see that in the comments more than you see that anywhere else. She ain't Black. She ain't Black. She ain't Black, and that's just another way for them to divide us. Don't fall for it, y'all.
Exit. Who's called Anchor Baby? Anchor Baby.
Oh my gosh!
What?
You know, I don't want to get into Anchor Baby because
what's that?
But that's the whole problem, y'all. Listen, it all boils down to this. This brings out the worst in people. It brings out their true character. Do you understand? They like to hide in the shadows until someone gives them the permission to step out and be the ridiculous person that they are when they want to only attack and never bring a solution. I am one of many people who will say, I will always come to the table and eat with you as long as we're going to sit down and try to find a foundation for us to build upon. If we cannot build upon that foundation, then I don't need to break bread with you. So it's very, very obvious that many people who watch us are here to attack. But what we are saying is extremely valid, and we're proving the points that they are afraid of. So no longer do I give a damn what you think about what I look like and how I'm trying to educate you on what's going on in our politics, because most people have already made their decision. You're never going to change them. It's the ones who want to really learn and want to really see what the real issues are, who are the ones that we can talk to. For all this division, keep stepping. That's not what this is about. We are just as concerned about our country as you are. But if you're going to come to attack, we don't have time for it.
If you're coming to attack, step on back, Jack.
All right. This has been a great discussion. Y'all bared with me as the host today. This was fun.
You did great, Dr. Alicia.
I'll do whatever. Anyway, we close up today. I guess I'll close first, and then I'll pass it off to the three of us, and we'll say goodbye. Hello, everyone. I am Dr. Alicia with Coaching with Dr. Alicia. You can go to my website. You can, if you're being overwhelmed or feeling really anxious about all of the unknowns that's happening here, things that are out of your control, you can contact me at coachingwithdralicia.com for individual or for couples work. I just want to encourage everybody to develop media literacy skills. I want you all to be empowered to make decisions not based on emotions, but really look at your values, the things that you hold near and dear to your heart. Look at that and then vote. It may not 100% match your values, but if you look at both candidates, you look at what their platform, what they stand on. I'm certain Kamala Harris is standing on much of what Biden has already talked about thus far. We will hear from her soon. But if you look at those, just vote for whatever without your emotions, whatever is more that adheres to what you want to support. So with that, I want to go on to Athena. Please tell us your ideas about emotional appeals versus real values, any parting thoughts, and then let everybody know how to find you.
Well, this has been a very interesting show, and I knew it would be because it is a political topic, and we are, often Black people are very emotionally charged, spiritual people. That's our nature. What I will say is this: we need to not look at the things that divide us at this point and focus on the things that are going to advance us as a group. I know that, Black people are not a monolith, and we have different concepts of what looking forward might look like, but to also keep in mind to keep an open mind about things and to not attack a person, attack more so the issues at hand, right? I'm not going to explain myself. I do not need to qualify myself to the unqualified. So I'm not going to do that. But if you guys are interested in learning more about what I can do to help us, my part in helping us advances of people will help us with our financial situation, which is, to be honest with you, if we had that all together, we wouldn't care who sit on our damn seat. You can find me at wewealthwoman.com. All my social media is at wewealthwoman, and listen to the We Wealth Woman podcast at Apple, Spotify, iHeart, Audible, and where you listen to podcasts.
Thank you, Athena. Okay, let's go to Constance. Parting thoughts and where we can find you.
Listen, today was fun, you guys. It really was. But I love us more than I hate the other party. We can all have varying opinions of what we think life is, America is, and all of those things. But at the end of the day, we need each other to survive. And so we don't have to all vote the same. We can have our opinions and we can still be friends. Yes, we can still be friends. I love Black people. I think our us together collectively is way more important than us divided. I hate to see the division, but I think social media kind of exacerbates that division that they say that we have. I don't believe that a whole lot of people really feel, Black people, at least the ones I know in real life, don't feel the way that I see on social media. But vote however you feel. Just like Dr. Alicia says, it's really up to you. I hope the best for us and our people. If be like the Asians, they have the lowest voter turnout. And guess what? They're unaffected by whoever's in office because they work together. They practice collective economics. And that's what we need to start doing, is looking within and start doing business with people who look like you. Jews have less than 1% of the population, yet they have 50% of the wealth in the world. Why? Because they practice collective economics. That's what I want us to do, more than voting for the other party, more than what these politicians, who neither one of them at the end of the day are really going to do anything for us. Let's vote Black. Let's vote to work together. So where can you find me? Everything. I am Constance Carter. A couple of things that I want to share with you. I am going to be with the Black Business School. We're going to be partnering. I built the largest Black-owned real estate firm in California, and now I work specifically with people who are interested in building their net worth in various ways. So we're going to be talking about real estate on Thursday night with the Black Business School. You guys, it's a free training, and we're going to talk about how to get your money right and your money tight, because at the end of the day, it's really about not black and white. It's really about green, and how can we grow your money and not blow your money? That's what we need to do. And the other thing is, I work with Black women. One of the things that, and this is no diss to Black men, but one of the things I love to do is I love to help Black women. And so I have a passion project called the Net 7 Collective, where I help Black women increase their net worth by 7 figures. These women have started businesses, have monetized their businesses. They've gotten government contracts. They're investing in real estate. They're doing all the things to bring us closer to closing the wealth gap. And so I'm starting my next cohort at the end of August, and I would love to talk to you to see if you would be a good fit for the program. We have some of everybody in there, from Harvard PhDs to attorneys to people who work regular 9-to-5s, from people who are just starting out in businesses. And so that's my contribution. So fuck all that political shit. I want to help Black people, and I think that if we work together, we really can.
Thank you, Constance. All right. Okay, Lala, how about you finish up?
Well, my message is this. I make a good dinner. If you're willing to come and sit at the table and break bread together, the only rule is for you to leave that shenanigans and bullshit outside the door. We want real solutions. And if we don't have those, where do we start? Well, it starts with us. There is a reason why they are afraid of the Black Panther Party. And this is a reason why they wanted them demolished. Because when we are united, we make big changes. So until we get this division in check, nothing for us, and no matter who the candidate is, will matter, because we're going to be too busy killing one another with arguments and racism among ourselves. So if you have and you want to work for solutions, you will work for them, and you will stop with the division, because right now, nobody is serving us if we can't serve our own. And you can find me at bit.ly/Laura Key Info. I'm an international real estate agent. If you can see outside of the glass of America and you would like to raise your wealth and live the dream of living abroad, I am here for you, and I help specialize in Portugal. And it might do you some good to get outside of America so you can see the world and not the small anthill of America.
Come on, come on, come on.
Well, thank you, Lala. And I want to thank everybody for joining us today. The title of our talk today is, Are We Being Shamed into Voting for Kamala Harris just because of her race? And you have tuned into Fly Nubian Money. We are on Spotify. We are on YouTube, Monday through Friday, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do want to say one more time, text Queens, QUEENS, to 87948. Thank you all for joining. Goodbye, everybody.